I hoped I looked confident because my insides felt like jello as the most popular girls sat opposite me at recess, their wolf-like stares fixed on me.
Okay, so have you ever been to the super exclusive restaurant in Rome that only 1% of the world population knows about?
Yes, who hasn't? I mean, other than the 99%. The poached snail pasta with volcano ash is pretty good, but honestly, I've had better.
So when did you watch the new movie Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
October last year. Obviously, I wasn't gonna watch it with the general public. Ew. Daddy got a private viewing arranged for me. And who's your daddy? We just got him back after he was kidnapped the 5th time for ransom, so I really can't share this information. You understand how it is, right?
I totally get that, girl.
Welcome to the gang, Sophia. Phew. My research on stupid rich people had paid off. Hi, I'm Sally from LA, but for now, just call me Sophia. That sounds like a sophisticated rich girl name, right? Please, don't blow my cover. So, about that, I may look like a normal high school student, but the truth is, I'm actually a journalist. About a month ago, our paper received an anonymous tip that something shady was going on at the most elite private school in the country. Since I'd graduated only a couple of years before, not from this school, I'm not that rich, my editor sent me undercover to investigate. Now, I was in with the most popular kids in high school, and the first thing I noticed was that none of them seemed to study much and were partying every day, but they all had straight A's. The second thing I noticed was a boy named Matthew who didn't seem to fit in here, and he was constantly getting bullied by the popular jerks. I decided to find out why. So one day after school, I followed him. He'd walked several blocks down when suddenly, a flashy red sports car screeched to a halt, and the popular boys jumped out and surrounded him. Their leader, Aaron, grabbed Matthew by his collar.
You know you have to do what we say, Pinocchio. You're our little puppet. Why are you being so difficult?
I don't have to do anything anymore. I'm gonna expose all of you, even if it means getting expelled myself.
And who's gonna believe you?
They'll believe me when I show them proof. Yeah, this isn't a bluff, Aaron.
What did you do, you little weasel?
Just then, a policeman came around the corner and Aaron let Matthew go, but then snatched his backpack and threw it on the road. The boys all jumped into the car and sped away. As Matthew was picking up his things, I suddenly saw a bus approaching him at full speed, and he wasn't looking up. Without another thought, I raced toward him and pushed him out of the way. The bus driver pulled over to check on us, but Matthew wasn't moving. We called an ambulance, and I decided to wait at the hospital till his family arrived. And the doctor soon told me that Matthew had hit his head hard and he was in a coma. Gosh, so much for trying to save him. Matthew, please wake up and tell me what's going on with you and those jerks. Can you hear me? Hello? I shook him gently, flashed my phone light in his eyes, tried tickling his toes, but nothing. Then I gave him a passionate kiss on the lips. Nothing. Guess that doesn't work in real life. Just then, I turned around to see a couple who looked like Matthew's parents. They were distressed at Matthew's condition, but then, to my surprise, his mom turned around and hugged me. We received the full report of the accident, and you were really brave to jump in and save his life. The doctor's hopeful that Matthew will wake up once the swelling in his brain goes down.
Matthew never mentioned you, but we're so glad to find out he has such a caring girlfriend.
Girlfriend? Well, of course they thought that with my passionate kissing. I was about to correct them when suddenly I had an idea. Oh, yeah. Matthew's a great boyfriend. Lovely man. I mean boy. Such a weird age. Is he a man? Is he a boy? Who knows? He's a great guy. And before I knew it, I'd received an invitation to dinner at their place the next day. I walked away feeling conflicted. Yes, I was lying to these very nice people about being their comatose son's girlfriend, which was wrong, but Matthew knew something about the popular kids, and I had to find out what it was. The next day at school, I caught Aaron and the other jerks laughing about the accident.
Good thing the Matthew situation got taken care of itself.
What are you guys talking about? Why do we care about this Matthew loser?
Oh, Sophia, you're cute, but you're too new for us to let you in on our secrets. You have to earn our trust, you know?
Okay, and how do I do that?
I'm pretty sure Matthew was bluffing, but he claims he has some dirt on us. Maybe a video? You think you can find out if he has any such thing and get it for me?
That should be easy. I can totally go to Matthew's place pretending to be his sad girlfriend, and I'll look through his things. If there's anything to find, I'll find it.
I like your confidence, Sophia. Maybe you can come by my place one of these days and see a slideshow of my abs. Chicks dig that stuff.
I gave him a forced smile as I tried not to barf. Later that evening, I arrived early at Matthew's place for dinner, and it was obvious that they weren't rich at all. His parents welcomed me in, and while they were still preparing dinner, I slipped upstairs. I walked through the first door to see tons of sports trophies displayed on the shelves and a guitar on the wall. Clearly, I wasn't in Matthew's room. Just then, I spotted a photo frame with a picture of him next to a hunk who looked a few years older.
Mamma mia, who are you? That would be me, Matthew's brother Cody.
I turned around in shock to see the hunk standing behind me. He'd just stepped out of the bathroom, wearing nothing but a towel.
Are you staring at my abs? I'm guessing you're my brother's girlfriend who my parents invited for dinner.
What? I wasn't staring. How dare you accuse me of something so disgusting? I'm just so traumatized by what's happened to Matthew, and he used to talk about you so much. And now seeing you in person without Matthew here, this is all just very hard for me.
Look, I'm sorry.
I just threw the photo frame aside and ran out of there. Gosh, this was gonna be one awkward evening. Cody joined us soon and was being extra nice to me all through dinner, and his parents started asking me how Matthew and I had met. It's actually a crazy story. So, you know that big park next to our school? I was feeding the ducks there one afternoon, and when I ran out of bread, they suddenly became these vicious creatures that started jumping out of the lake to attack me. So I was running as fast as I could when suddenly I tripped. I saw my life flash before my eyes, and then out of nowhere, this boy jumps in and starts howling at the ducks like a wolf. The ducks ran away like scared chickens, and my hero turned out to be Matthew. It's actually a true story, guys. I didn't just pull it out of my butt. That's how I met my first boyfriend. He's in a mental asylum now.
Wow, that's amazing. It doesn't sound anything like our Matthew, though. He's terrified of birds. Also dogs, cats, squirrels, butterflies, water, heights, sunflowers, grapes.
Oh, right. Of course, I found out later he's a scaredy cat. Which made the duck thing even more special. He overcame his fears to save me. His parents smiled at me warmly. I'm sure you already know this, but Matthew's a genius. It was his dream to get into that school on scholarship, but ever since he's gone there, he's been so different. Closed off, moody, even angry. We're really happy to know at least he had you to talk to. I felt quite bad for being a big fat liar as I left that evening, and I was no closer to finding the truth. Well, at least now I knew which bedroom was Matthew's. So the next night, I decided to sneak into his room when everyone was asleep. I managed to climb up the wall and was halfway through the window when my butt got stuck. Oh God, when did my butt get so big? Probably eating all those French pastries at lunch. Why do they serve such stupid stuff in school? Oh, you know what they say. Ouch, a moment in the mouth, forever on the butt, or something like that. I finally managed to get through and fell on the ground with a thud, and I quickly crawled under the bed. Seconds later, Cody walked in. Gosh, even his feet were pretty, and he was swinging a baseball bat.
Anyone there? I'm warning you, I'm armed.
I lay there silently and watched him leave. I sighed in relief and turned around, and suddenly felt someone pulling me out by my shirt.
Sophia, what on earth are you doing here?
I stared up at him, my mind racing. Just then, I spotted a pair of Matthew's shoes under the bed and grabbed them. Oh, I just came here because I miss Matthew so much. I was just sniffing his shoes. The smell of his feet makes me feel like he's still with me.
He hasn't died, Sophia. You know what? I think you're lying about something. What are you actually doing here?
I just had to tell him the truth. Well, the partial truth. Okay, so I didn't tell you before, but Matthew started shutting me out too lately. I've seen the popular kids in school talking to him a few times, but he'd never tell me what it was about. And right before his accident, I heard Matthew telling them that he was gonna expose them all. He's involved with these kids in something serious, and I have to find out what.
But what were you expecting to find here?
The biggest bully, Aaron, seems to think Matthew has something on him, like a video maybe? I need to check his phone and laptop, please.
I'll help you.
We went through Matthew's phone and laptop, but didn't find anything. We searched all through his drawers and cupboards for any hard drives or any other clue, but turned up empty-handed, except Cody. Since when does Matthew get D's and F's? He looked at the quizzes I was holding up in shock.
Never. Matthew's always shown us his report cards with straight A's. These quizzes are a few months old. If he was struggling with his grades, he never mentioned it. Well, he stopped talking to me pretty much since he joined this school. I miss him.
You wanna sniff his shoes?
No thank you. Come with me to see him at the hospital tomorrow?
Of course. We started making hospital visits together, and I could see how much Cody cared for his little brother, and we often found ourselves hanging out afterwards too. At first, we were just talking about Matthew, but soon we were having conversations about everything. He seemed to find me funny, and I loved making him laugh with my silly antics. His parents loved having me over too, and it wasn't long before I had a major crush on Cody. I mean, literally, it took me a week. Well, actually, a second when I saw him in that towel. But of course, I couldn't say anything because I'm a professional, an undercover journalist, and most importantly, his brother's fake girlfriend. Meanwhile at school, I reassured Aaron that I'd looked through everything Matthew owned, and he didn't have anything on Aaron and his friends. So, you want to tell me now what this is all about? I want you to trust me, Aaron.
I think I can. I noticed you got C's and D's on your quizzes lately.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy snooping around Matthew's house lately, so haven't been studying much. And this school's tough.
Well, you know that giant chemistry quiz coming up on Monday? You're gonna ace it.
And then he pulled out some papers from his locker and handed them to me.
The quiz with the answer key. Thank me later by going out with me, babe.
He winked and walked off as I stood there in shock, then quickly stuffed the quiz in my bag. Aaron and his group were stealing exams from the teacher's room, and Matthew was involved in this too? And when I told Cody later that day in the hospital, he was stunned.
Matthew? Cheating? Stealing exams? It can't be. He wouldn't. He's always been such a good kid.
But he was getting bad grades and hiding them, and then something changed, right? And we know he's involved with these kids. He said he'd expose them, even if it meant getting expelled himself.
I can hardly believe it. What have you been up to, Matthew? Just wake up and tell me.
I put my hand on Cody's to comfort him, and the way he looked up at me made my heart race. Then he quickly pulled his hand away.
Sophia, you're my brother's girl.
Just then, the door burst open, and a short, curly-haired girl ran in, pushed me aside, and threw herself on Matthew. Oh my God, I came as soon as I heard. Come on, Maddie, I'm here now. Wake up. And then she planted a big kiss on his lips. Why is True Love's kiss not working? Maybe I should slap him hard.
Hold up, who are you?
I'm his girlfriend, Penny. Matt and I have been together for 2 years, since his old school. But I'd been away with my family for a month on this camping trip where we had no signals, and I hadn't talked to Matt in weeks. When I returned, a friend told me he was in a coma. You're Cody, right? Oh, my brother-in-law, I'm here for you.
What are you talking about? That's his girlfriend. Sophia, why aren't you saying anything?
I'm just speechless. What? I'm his girlfriend, his one and only. Where did this witch come from? Matthew saved me from the ducks. Oh God, he's playing us both. He's a two-timer. I'm such a terrible person. Ain't no way I'm giving up my man to some Gucci-wearing hoity-toity tree trunk. You and me, outside, now! I had no idea what to do. I couldn't expose all my lies, so I had to go fight this girl for my boyfriend. A crowd gathered outside the hospital to watch our catfight. Ugh, I was really in it now. You want a piece of me, shorty? What you got in that nest on your head? Wow, your trash talk is pathetic. My mama can do better than that, Godzilla. Then she attacked me, and she was crazy. She knew frickin' kung fu. She kicked me in the stomach, punched me in the eye, pulled my hair, and bit my leg. She might have killed me if Cody hadn't intervened. And then she stormed off back to Matthew.
Sophia, are you okay? Let's have a doctor take a look.
No, I'm fine. I'll maybe get an ice pack for my throbbing eye. We sat on the bench outside as Cody held the ice pack to my face.
I feel like I don't even know who my brother is anymore. Stealing exams? Having 2 girlfriends?
Tell me about it.
I'm really sorry, Sophia. Matthew doesn't deserve 2 beautiful girls fighting over him.
You think I'm beautiful?
Well, yeah, if it helps. More than Penny.
It helps. Cody was just sitting so close to me, and he looked irresistible, and I found myself leaning forward and kissing him. He kissed me back, then suddenly jumped away.
No, this is terrible.
Wait, what's terrible? The kiss or the situation?
No, the kiss was great. The situation is terrible. Sophia, how could you just kiss me? You're my brother's girlfriend.
Well, he already has another girlfriend. I don't even know who I am in this situation.
All I know is that I can't do this while my brother's in a coma. Maybe we should just stay away from each other.
And with that, he walked off. Ugh, this was getting so complicated. I knew by now that Aaron and his group were stealing papers and getting perfect grades to get into the best universities, and maybe this was enough for my article. But my editor said we needed more solid proof, because it was just my word against theirs. Feeling defeated, I went to visit Matthew at the hospital one day. He was alone, and then the nurse told me that Matthew had been wearing a USB on a string around his neck, which had snapped today. I thanked her as she gave it to me, and then quickly took out my laptop and inserted the USB. And I was shocked to see security footage on it, clearly showing Aaron, his friends, and Matthew stealing exams from the teacher's room. This was all the proof I needed. Just then, Penny walked in with Cody.
Good, you're here, Sophia. Or should I say, Sally? I was just telling Cody what I found out about you, you lying tall news reporter.
With that, Penny shoved her phone in my face, showing my profile on the newspaper's website.
So, let me get this straight. You've been here undercover as a high school student to write some article, and for that, you lied to me and my family about being my brother's girlfriend while he was in a coma, and you made us believe he's a two-timer?
Listen, I know it looks bad, but
my parents are on their way here, and I think you should leave.
Cody, please.
Just go.
Suddenly, Penny let out a scream as Matthew's eyelids fluttered open. I quickly left the room, and moments later, I saw his parents walk in, and I could hear everyone's excited voices. I was so happy for them that Matthew was awake. The next day at school, Aaron approached me.
Hey babe, you want more of those tests? The first one was free, but it's $200 per test now.
Wow, that's steep.
Look around you, doll. Everyone here can pay. Well, except for that loser Matthew. He was struggling under the pressure and came to us for help, but he couldn't pay up. So we decided to make him our slave in return. We kept telling him that if we got caught, our rich parents would get us out of this mess, but he'd lose his scholarship and get expelled in a second.
Right. It all makes sense now. Thanks, but I won't be needing any more of the tests.
How come?
I'm dropping out of school. I'd recorded my last conversation with Aaron on my phone, and I got to working on my article on the weekend. By Monday, it was out. By Tuesday, it was all over the news. By Friday, every student involved had been expelled, except for Matthew. I'd made it clear in my article that Matthew had wanted to do the right thing, and the principal decided to be lenient and only suspend him. It was a relief to be Sally again, but I felt bad about how things had ended with Cody. I wanted to apologize to him and his parents, but he wouldn't take my calls. A few weeks went by, and I was surprised to find a card on my desk from Matthew, inviting me to Cody's baseball game. That night, I found Matthew in the stands.
Look who it is, my girlfriend.
Ha ha, where's your other girlfriend?
She's on her way here. You better watch out. I liked your article, by the way.
Thanks. How did you get a hold of that security footage?
I think the principal was beginning to suspect that someone was stealing papers, because the last time Aaron and his friends made me go with them, I noticed a new camera in the teacher's room. I hacked into the school's security system, retrieved the footage, and put in some fake one. I told Aaron I'd destroyed it, but I hadn't.
Right. Also, you're the one who sent the anonymous tip to the newspaper, didn't you?
Yeah, I was tired of living a lie. By the way, I'm dropping out of that school and going back to my old one with Penny.
What? Why?
I was miserable there, Sally. I can't take that pressure. I wish I'd just been able to own up to that earlier and tell my family. I was so afraid of disappointing them that I ended up cheating instead. But thank you for exposing those jerks and making my life better, really. Now, you should go talk to my brother before his game starts. I promise. He's ready to listen.
I skipped off to find Cody and burst into the boys' locker room, and I stood transfixed. So many shirtless athletes. Just then, Cody appeared and dragged me out.
That was subtle, Sally.
Come on, it's just some eye candy. Okay, listen. Cody, I owe you an apology. I'm sorry for lying to you and your parents, but I was just trying to do my job and even helping Matthew. It's not a great excuse for all my lies, but it's not a bad one either, right?
I guess not, especially since you helped make things better for Matthew, and you make everyone in my family happy. I think my mom wishes you were still Matthew's girlfriend.
And you?
Oh, I'm super happy Penny exists, because now I can do this without feeling guilty.
And then he pulled me in for a kiss.